Welcome back. So the cues across Asia are actually not too bad. I mean, even US futures have been flashing a little bit of green. Some of the Asian markets are also trying to move beyond the Friday fall. Let's pull up the implied open. We'll get some sense of how things are. Hang Seng is still flat. The Japanese market actually is doing a little better, 1% higher. And the implied open, I think, is going more with Japan than with China, because we're getting a sense that we might start 70 to 80 points higher. Well, that's the overall setup. What's the individual or specific stock level action looking like today? We have a team standing by with a CNBC-TV18 list of top stocks to watch. There was a fair amount of pharma news over the weekend. Let's start with the Sun Pharma. Ekta, morning.
Morning. Well, yes, Sun Pharma is in focus because the US FDA completed the inspection at their Halol facility. They've issued them 8 observations. The plant, remember, was inspected from June 2nd to June 13th. It has an import alert on it since December of 2022. So these 8 observations and what the nature of the observations will be quite critical. Now, additionally, there is succession planning which is taking place at Sun Pharma. Kirti Garnaukar is now appointed the MD of Sun Pharma effective September 1st. This is succeeding Dilip Sangvi, who is stepping down and will be focusing on the specialty portfolio and the strategic oversight. Kirti, remember, has been with Sun Pharma since 1996. Separately, the company says that this marks the culmination of a structured succession plan at Sun Pharma. Dilip Sangvi, remember, he's the Alok Sangvi, who's the son of Dilip Sangvi, was elevated to COO in Feb 2025, and his daughter Vidhi Sangvi was made director in May 2025. So we've been seeing the signs, and now eventually Sun Pharma is going to have a new MD come 1st September.
Okay, all right, Ekta. Thanks a lot for that. Well, I'm looking at Vedanta, actually. They put out a release that they're going to be meeting in the next 2 days to consider paying out their first interim dividend for this fiscal. Remember, they've been a dividend machine of sorts, and they've also put out the record date. Now, Vedanta will be in focus because of this, meet that we're looking at with regard to a dividend payout. So the street will be a little bit excited on that. They have some part of their EBITDA that comes in from oil as well, and the spike in oil prices will be good for them. And also the third factor is they're very, very close to announcing that demerger date by the second quarter is when you're expecting it. So all of this will keep the stock in focus for today's trading session, going with some green on this name. That said, we had a bit of a turnaround quarter coming in from SpiceJet. Vinny joins us to tell us more about those numbers. Vinny?
Hi, good morning. So yes, a turnaround quarter surely coming in for SpiceJet. Overall, in terms of FY25 also, their revenue, this is the first time they've reported, the profit. This is the first time they've reported a profit in 7 years. So that is a good number coming in there, 48 crores versus 404 crore loss last year. So improvement there. There was a forex gain versus forex loss. That is also a factor that comes into play. Other than that, they've actually seen a reduction in terms of fuel cost, airport charges, maintenance costs. Passenger yield, that has seen an improvement in FY25, 5.18 versus 4.9 last year. Improvement in terms of revenue efficiency is what the company is seeing per seat kilometer, which is a measure that you take in aviation, as well as market share remains stable around that 3.3 to 3.4%. So keeping an eye out on that. Revenue. Now, overall, when you're looking at that revenue number, there is a decline coming in. Why? Because there was a revival plan which was there for grounded fleet for the company. Now, that has taken a bit of a backseat. There's a bit of a delay coming in. Yes, it's in a process and progress over there, but still a bit of a delay versus what the street was expecting. And that is why an impact in terms of revenue. So we are expecting green, given that, numbers are good in terms of profitability, margin front as well. But do not forget, Q1 FY26 could be a bit of a bleak quarter given the global tensions that are coming in, and this was already highlighted by Interglobe Aviation as well. So let's watch out for that. As of now, green is what we could expect for SpiceJet.
All right. Thanks very much, Vinny, for that. So that's SpiceJet for you. Godrej Properties is the next one. Ria has got details here. Ria, morning.
Good morning. Godrej Properties will be in focus today since the company is set to develop a 14-acre land parcel in Bangalore. Now, this is for a premium residential development with a saleable area of about 1.5 million square feet, and it has a revenue potential of around rupees 1,500 crores. Now, the company has stated in its press release that this is an important micro market for them, and it continues to see strong demand. And remember, earlier the company had also said that they expect to undertake business development worth about rupees 20,000 crores in FY26. So overall, positive news flow for Godrej Properties, expecting it to open in the green today.
Okay, Godrej Properties going ahead with more plans in Bengaluru. Got that. Thanks for that, Ria. Let's now talk about the flare-up in crude oil prices. Of course, it was quite the headline on Friday, but even this morning, the bid is still on the upside. Manisha is here with more details. Manisha, so tense developments over the weekend.
Oh, well, yeah, absolutely. But you know what the markets really are reading is that we haven't seen a direct attack on the energy facilities, nor have we actually seen a wider conflict. So the initial thing is what the markets have already factored in right now. As you said, it was 7% of gains on Friday is how we shut the weekend. But we also are trading nearly a percentage point on the higher side for the crude oil prices right now. So Brent did hit 78.5 on Friday, trading down 75 at this point in time. The street will continue to watch on the Israel-Iran exchange attacks. The markets also are looking at possibility that the conflict could push more restrictions on Iran oil. These are the premiums that can build in on prices. Even more interestingly, on Friday, you saw the highest volume on August 2025 $80 call option. So the markets do believe that you can see those prices going forward from here. Interestingly, it was the shorts that were unwinding. Fresh longs in futures is something that has been missing, is the reason you haven't seen more follow-through buying coming in for the crude oil prices. But from here on as well, the statements coming in from Trump warning Iran against attacking U.S. facilities in the region. Also, Trump setting tariffs for trading partners in coming weeks as a statement as well are some of the factors that do add to uncertainty, keeping the crude oil prices in favor.
All right. Thanks very much, Manisha, for that. So, oil, of course, a lot of the discussion over the next couple of hours, through the course of the day, actually, is going to be centered around what happens here. Well, let's quickly run you through the list of stocks that we put out. So, Vedanta, SpiceJet, Godrej Properties, ONGC, Oil India are stocks with some green this morning and potential negative news flow. Sun Pharma, Asian Paints, Berger, Indian Oil Corporation, and PPCL.